Okay, welcome everybody to live Python coding with Tokyo EdTech. That is me. My name is Christian, and yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of live coding today. And basically, I've got a couple things I'd like to work on today. Basically, I don't know if you've seen it, but I have a snake game tutorial. Hey Zebra, I've got this snake game tutorial that I made, yeah, I don't know, maybe 6, 8 months ago, something like that, for my students. And I just here, let me link that for you so I don't forget. And basically, I've gotten some questions. Coincidentally, I got 2 questions today about that particular tutorial. So I thought I would.
Grammarly.
Sorry, let's get rid of that. So I thought that I would go ahead and try and answer them on the live stream. Okay, Zebra. So then that's good. You've seen it. Yeah, let's improve a couple things. So I've got basically 2 main things that I was asked to improve, and I'll show you those over here. Before we get started, though, the link to the code on GitHub is here. I'll also put that into the chat, but it's also in the description. And so if you can download the code, we can start from there. We'll be starting from there twice today, if not 3 times. And then I'll show you here the comments that I got today on that. So from the IDAJ show, can you please do a video on how to make this multiplayer? So for those of you who haven't seen the game, this is what it looks like. And I've got the, let's see here, I've got the W, A, and SD keys move the snake. And here's the food, and here's my snake. I'm going to go ahead and move. And it's pretty, pretty straightforward. It's like nothing, if you ever played a snake game. Oops, missed that. Oops, and now I hit the side. My high score was 30, starts over, and it goes again. Okay, so IDAJ, is that what it is? Would like to make that multiplayer, so I think I can do that. I can probably do that one. We'll give it a shot, see how it goes. And then the second question, which is a lot harder, is to make the game smoother. So as you can see right now, it moves kind of like 1 block at a time. I don't think it's too unsmooth, but apparently Tyler would like to make it a bit more smoother. And I can see what he did here with his code. So instead of moving it 20 pixels at a time, you move it 1 pixel at a time. So that's actually, not super complex. At least I have an idea of how to do it. So let's start working on multiplayers. I think that one's probably the easier one for me. And I could be wrong. So yeah, sometimes I can do these things, sometimes I cannot. And let's see, see if we can do it. The first thing I do want to do, one thing, is, I don't know if you noticed, but the alignment of the snake is off from the food. So basically what I'm going to do is this section here, currently it's line 1, unless I added some code, around line 120 or so. You'll see where it says random.randint. And so it tries to move the food to a random spot. And what that does is, it works. The problem is that you could end up like 290 or 284 instead of on every 20. So what I'm going to do is, instead of rand int, I'm going to use rand range. And I'm going to try that. And I think it's going to be negative 280. I haven't tested this, so I got to check. And then there's an extra parameter that we can use here. And it tells us like what, how do I put it? Like what, I don't know. How like every 20 or every 10 or whatever, the increment. So let's say 20 and 20. And what that should do is line up with the way the snake moves. Because the snake starts at 0, 0. And so it moves by 20. So that goes 20, 20, so 60, 80. So changing this to rand range with that 20 parameter there should do what we want. I think. We'll find out. Let's try it. I'm going to save it. I'm going to run it. And just real quick, I always get asked in every video several times, what editor am I using? I'm using something called Genie. It's listed right here. And I am using Linux, Ubuntu Linux. So, all right, so it's going to eat the food and see if it lined up. Okay, look, it's much, much better. So it's lined up perfectly with the snake head. So it was nice, just one quick little line of code fixed all that for us. So that was a nice result. Oops, I'm not very good at this game, but it's harder than it looks with the delay and such. There we go. All right, so you get the idea. All right, so back to my first request, which was to make it multiplayer. Okay, so I think probably the easiest way to do that, at least at this point, if we don't want to like get into like much more complex coding and start using classes and things, is basically just to double everything. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by moving the original player from 0, 0 to 20. So I'm going to do minus 100. Okay, so what that does, if you just start here, so I'm going to start the first player here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the second player over here. We don't want them to overlap. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go in the order I think that I created the original tutorial. So we got the screen, we got everything going on. Grab a drink there, and I'm just going to copy this where it says snakehead, and copy it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a different color. So we'll say black versus, what's this? We got green. Let's do blue. And instead of going to negative 100, we'll go to positive 100. Now, something you'll notice here, now I've got two heads, but they have the same name. We can't do that. So just to keep it easy, I'm going to call everything head 2. Now, here is, if you learn nothing else from this video today, here's what you need to learn. When you make some changes to the code, like a little section like that, stop what you're doing and test it. I don't know why beginners refuse to do that. If you test it, then you can figure out where your errors are much, much more quickly. So let's try that. And okay, so far so good. I have got this guy. Now I'm going to try and move this player and see what happens. Okay. So that's good. So that seems like it's working. I'm happy with that. Okay, so let's close that. So I've got a head, and I think what I'm going to do at this point is just get the head moving. Okay, now I could start adding the body and all those sorts of things, but I think what I'm going to do is I want to get the head moving. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these functions that we have here. So this go up is for the first head. So again, I'm just going to copy all this. Again, I know this is not the most efficient way to do it. There's better ways to do it, but let's keep it simple for people that haven't done this kind of stuff before. So I'm going to say go up 2. They can't have the same name. Go down 2, go left 2, go right 2, and move 2. Okay. The same thing I'm going to do here is head 2, 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 head 2. Head 2, head 2. So you see what I'm doing. So head 2, head 2, head 2, head 2, head 2. I'm getting redundant here, but if you miss one, your program's gonna act a little weird. Okay, and then we see here we have the keyboard bindings. Okay, so I'm going to copy those. Now we want to use different keys, obviously, for the second turtle. And let's see, let's use I, J, K, L. I could use the arrows, but let's use I, J, K, L. So I is up, K is down, left is J, and right would be L. Okay, so that way I can play it pretty easy. Now notice here I have to change this to 2, 2, 2, and 2. Note, if you're on Python 2 for some reason, which is fine, it's on key, not on key press. I'm pretty sure. Okay, I don't think that will work. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and test all that code I just changed. Okay, so far so good. No syntax errors. And this is another thing I try to tell beginners is to, how can I put it, like, write code that works, and then if you need to make alterations to it, copy and paste it. If you can get left working, copy and paste it so that, and then change it so that it's right. So it's easier to change working code, I think, than it is to change, rewrite code each time. Okay, so now I'm going to try and move the right player. Oops. Let me get keyboard focus. Okay, so nothing is working, but this is still working. That's a good sign. Okay, so again, just the testing process, and I think I know what I forgot to do. So I have all this code, but then I forgot to, where's it at here? Move. Okay, so the order of this code was really important. So I need to move to. Okay, so that will move the second head, hopefully. And this is something like, if I haven't seen this code in a long time, and really looked at it since I made it, except when people ask for help. But if your variable names are very clear, if your function names are very clear, it's very easy to go through and figure out what does what without trying to have to guess. Okay, so I'm going to try I, J, K, and L. That is not what I wanted. I, J, K. Oh, left work. Okay, so a few of them worked. So I think J worked. All right, so because I forgot to put head 2 here, and head 2, head 2, head 2, head 2, head 2, head 2, head 2. Okay, so I just missed a couple. Probably you guys noticed that as I was typing it. You're like, oh, when's he gonna notice? I just noticed. It's harder to type and talk than you'd think. Okay, so I'm gonna test it again. So I'm gonna go up, left, down, right, and now I want to see if they both work. Alrighty. Now you can see there's a little problem there because I returned this one to the center. Oh, there he comes back. Now this one can go off the screen. Okay, so I just need to keep updating the code a little bit. Let's see here. So check for collision with the border. Okay, well, so I'm going to go ahead and copy that. And again, there's other ways to do this, but we'll go with this. So same thing. I'm going to change everything to head 2, head 2, head 2, and now you see here the time sleep is going to happen twice. So let's just say, yes, let's think about that one for a second. It's not too hard to fix. Notice here, head go to 0. I want this to go to 100 now, and I want head 1 to go to minus 100 because that was changed up above. Okay, and now I should make a score to everything. So we'll get to that some other point maybe, but I think you might be able to figure that part out yourself. So let's test that. So it's making sure if the borders work for the second player. So I'm going to go stop and went back. Stop and went back. Now I wonder what's going to happen to the other player when that happens. If it's going to keep moving. Stop and keeps going. So I don't know if you want your game to be like that. You could reset the other one if you wanted to, or you can leave it like that. So okay. So we got the moving, and we need to now, I'm just kind of working my way down through. We did border collisions. Now I'm going to check for a collision with the food. Okay. And I'm going to copy and paste. Okay, so again, head 2. I know this is getting a little redundant. There's still only one food, so that's fine. And I need to make segments 2. So yeah, so I'm going to go up here. I must have made segments somewhere. Not segments. So I'm going to go ahead and make segments 2. And again, if I had done this, like object-oriented style, it would probably should have been easier to update. It's one of the advantages of doing objects is like you can just change the class definition, but I know beginners have a lot of trouble with that, so I'm just kind of sticking to this method for now at least. Segments 2. Again, so just basically everything that's got to be 2. Segment. Now the interesting thing here is I don't need to change segment. I could change it to segment 2 if you want to be consistent. But because this is only used locally, I don't have to worry about it. But let's go ahead and change it to 2 just to be consistent. And let's try that and see what happens. Actually, no. I have to go to the next part. Collision with the food. That's actually down here. So I missed that earlier. So, oops. And segments 2 down to pen new segment. And actually got to put the code to move the segments as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and do all this at the same time. Move the segments first in reverse order. Okay, so this is segments 2. Segments 2, segments 2, segments 2. All right, let's do that. And then I need to do the same thing for the head. I think I could have combined that if I was a little bit smarter about it. But when I wrote this, I like to do things kind of step by step. So sometimes you get little inefficiencies built up there. So you can see here, I'm just basically copying and changing it to 2 because we want to do the same thing for everything. And we'll do that one later. Let's see if it's working. Now, this is a big if. Okay, it's not moving, which is a bad sign. Let's see. Oh, wrong keys. That's the bad sign. Okay, I was using the arrow keys instead. Okay, so it's working. Can I eat an apple? Oh, that's a good sign. Okay, so that's resets. That's good to see. Oh, it's my computer or my keyboard or... Jeez, I'm terrible at this game. There we go. The other thing is got to see if... This is kind of hard to play on your own, but... So, okay. If I actually had 2 people, it would probably be a little better. Okay, so it's good. So, all right, so the snake doesn't reset, just the other one. Now you can change it so that it does reset both of them, but I'll just kind of leave it like this for now. And then the next thing I need to do is check for head collision with body segments. Okay, so, and you can see how now I'm starting to get so much repeated code. I should put this into functions. That would probably make life a lot easier. And that's probably what I would do if I had the time. So for segment 2 in segments 2, segment 2, head 2, head 2, and again this is head 2 is going to go to 100, not 0, and head should go to negative 100. And you just got to fix all these things. Segment 2, segments 2, segment 2, segments 2, clear. Here's something. Just if you're in Python 2, this doesn't work. The clear method was added in Python 3.3, I believe. So you need to use that instead. Okay, but since I'm using Python 3 something, I'm going to stick with this. And okay, let's see if that works. It might take a while to test this because I'm not very good at this game. But yeah, let's give it a shot. Hey Farhan, how you doing? In case anybody's interested, I think I enabled super chat. I've never seen it in action before. Just heard about it yesterday. So if you're up for that, please feel free. But don't feel any pressure to. Okay. Okay, now oh, the border's there. Great. Okay, note to self. The border is a little closer than I think. All right, that's something I might change if I had time. Or I could draw a border in there. I just got. There we go. All right, getting a little better at this. Oh, I missed that. Okay, so I want to see if I can collide with my own body. Oh, I hit the wall. I'm just going to go ahead and assume it works. Because I don't have the patience to keep playing this. Anyway, so let's see here. Yeah, so I mean, that's basically that. The only thing that I haven't done is if Snake A collides with Snake B, but I don't know if that's how the game is played, to be perfectly honest. I think it's more one of those things where you basically are kind of playing against yourself. And something I could do is I can make a score 2 and then print like score 1, score 2. But that's pretty straightforward. I'll give that to you guys as an assignment for you guys to try to figure out. So basically that was it. I just kind of took the code and where I had snake head, I made head 2. Where I had segments, I made segments 2. Where I had go up, I made go up 2. I had move, I'd go up 2. This one is a little bit different because the keys are different. WASD for player 1 and IKJL for player 2. I could have used the arrow keys. If you want to use the arrow keys, it's up would be up, and then down would be down, capital D. But we'll use IKJ and L. And other than that, nothing much changed in the code. It was just basically just copying. And this is again goes back to my earlier point about if you got working code, you need to do the same thing. Just copy and paste. Now, may not be the most efficient thing for maintainability, but when you're getting started, what you do is you kind of copy code, make a change here, test it, see what happens. If you ever heard of Seth Godin, he wrote a book called Poke the Box, I think. That's the basic premise of it. So, yeah, it's how you learn how things work. And again, you make one small change, and then you test it. You don't make a zillion changes and test it. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one there. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the original code again, and I'm going to save this, go to File, Save As, and this is going to be Snake Game. I'm going to call it Smooth. And this one I'm not 100% sure how to do yet. I have an idea, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so to go back to the questions. Anyway, the last one was from the IDAJ show. I don't know what that means, but I hope it's nothing bad. And basically, this is the question, and this is how you do it. So thanks for the question. And then, and I say and a lot, don't I? So from Tyler Cantrell. So the question is, making the game smoother. So instead of like it moving in like jump, 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 he wants it to move like a little bit at a time. So I think I can figure this out. Let's try this. So what I'm going to try and do here with this, and I'm hoping it works, is I'm going to set it so that the head, let's see, how am I going to put this? Like so that the head has a destination. Okay, and what I mean by that, well, I'll show you. So I'm going to say head dot destination equals, this is going to be a tuple, so it's going to be 0, 0. Okay, so when the head starts, I'm just going to run this and show you back what the original program looks like. Oh, and by the way, I'll put that other program and this one when I'm done into the GitHub link. So this is where the head is. It's at 0, 0. It always starts here. And what I want to do is if I push up, I'm going to say that my destination is 0, 20. And what it'll do is it'll move until it gets to 0, 20. Okay, so let's try that. And then so what I need to change here is the way it moves. Okay. So in my move function, if head direction equals up, and then I'm going to change it so that it moves one at a time. Okay. Now let's just test that and see what happens. That's going to probably just move very, very slowly, is my guess. That's what I anticipate. Okay, so you can see how it's moving very, very smoothly, or very, very slowly. Okay. Now the problem is if we do that, it's going to mess up the collisions and things like that. So this is the problem that we have to deal with. Okay, because the collisions are set so that it checks only if there's a collision at certain points and stuff like that. So basically, just nothing's going to work right. Okay, so I think so. If head direction equals up, blah 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 blah. Okay. Now, what we've got to do. How can I put this? Well, actually, let me actually go back and show you where the problem is with this. One of the problems with it. So if I move it, see how I can change it? So even like I can move in this like tiny little area, which is not what we want. We want it to move 20 at a time, but smoothly. Okay, so I got to figure out how to do that action. So that brings me back to our destination. Okay. So what I'm going to try here is the following. Let's see here. Head direction equals go up. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all this. This might not work. Okay. So let's try it. I'm going to call this destination X equals destination head dot destination 0, because that's the first part, that's the X of it, and destination Y was head destination 1. Okay. Now, now I got to figure out which direction I got to go in. So if the head dot x core is less than destination X, then I'm going to move the head to the right. So I'm going to say, let's see here, head dot x core plus equals 1. Oops. I say head dot set x plus 1. I can't do that. Okay, so if my x coordinate is less, so that means I'm on the left, then my destination I'm going to move to the right. Okay. And I'm going to do some else. If my head coordinate is greater than, I'm going to move to the left by 1. And I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to do the same thing for Y. It's greater than destination Y. Set Y. Just got to make sure you change all these things. It's easy to miss one. And then I'm going to put another elif because they might be if they're exactly the same. Head dot Y core is less than destination Y. I'm hoping this works. We'll see. Okay. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to go ahead and test this by changing my head destination to 50. Let's say 60. So that should eat the apple. So let's run that. Okay, so the destination should be 0, 60. So it's moving in the right direction. Okay, now it's stopped. So that must have been 60. My bad. Okay, so think about this. Okay, we're going to move towards our destination. Once we get to our destination, we have to recalculate the destination. So this is going to be else. Okay, recalculate destination. Okay, so inside here, this is where we're going to be changing this is where we're going to be changing the direction. Okay, montage, good. I'm glad you got the notification. Happy to hear that. Zeno Slash, awesome, thank you. And Christian Jimenez, thank you very much. Good to see you again. So we have 4 conditions. Thanks, Stinky Dinky. Love the name, by the way. So we have four possibilities. Our head direction is up, our head direction is down, our head direction is left, or it is right. So if, if head, what is it? Head dot direction equals up. Is it capitalized? No. Okay. If head direction equals up, okay, our destination coordinate is going to be, we're going to add 20 to it. Does that make sense? Or sorry, we're going to add 20 to our y coordinate. Come on. So what we have to do is get y. So we say y, say destination y equals destination, well, actually no, destination y, because we already have that here. Sorry, I did that. Destination y plus equals 20. Okay, and then I'll say, yeah, okay, elif head direction equals down. Yeah, see, I'm just copying code here, assuming it's going to work. Okay, and then I'm just going to copy this. Head direction equals left. Destination x minus equals 20. And equals right. Thanks, Queasy. Hopefully this is making sense. I can never tell quite how fast to go or what needs to be explained or what doesn't. So now I can actually change the destination. So now I'm going to say head.destination equals destination x, destination y. Okay. So just to reiterate, in our move function now, okay, or our move method, depending on what you call it, we take this destination information, which we've programmed to 0, 60, but let's set this to 0, 0 and test it. Okay, so when we start the game, our destination is 0, 0. We want to stay in the center. Okay, so when we move, we get the current destination. If my current location is less than, my current x coordinate is less than the destination, I'm going to move by 1. Okay, so what, and then same thing, if it's to the left, to the right, up or down, we move by 1. So recalculate. Now, if this isn't different, if this isn't different, if this isn't different, and this isn't different, that means we're at exactly the spot we want to go to our destination. So then we want to recalculate based on what the last key is that we pressed. So whatever the last key is that we pressed, it will remember that because our head direction is going to be left or right. So we kind of decoupled this from the way it moves. So kind of played around with that. So if it's up, we add 20 to y. If it's down, we subtract 20 from y. If it's left, we subtract 20 from x. And if it's right, we just add 20 to x. And then we make our new destination. I think this will work. You feel lucky? Okay, moving up. Still moving up. Push the left key and up key. Okay, so 20. I'm going to push the right key. Okay, so I guess it's kind of working. I'm not sure why it's jumping when we get to the apple like that, but anyway. So next thing is, let's speed things up, okay? Because it's set so that delay equals 0, 1. So let's add, like, divide it by 10, see if we can make it go a little faster. Okay. Oh, yeah, I reset the delay somewhere. Delay. Section down here where, yeah, so 0, 1. Yeah, because the delay keeps getting changed. 0, 1. And that still might be a little bit too high. You might want to, depending on your computer, how fast your computer works. So I'm going to go up. Why does that keep resetting? When we hmm. That is very annoying. Let me check, see if I can figure out why that's doing that. It's quite annoying. Oh, the segments are messed up. Yeah. Okay, now I understand. Abood, it's neither or. There's no real. Yeah, it depends what your purpose is. The question is Turtle better or Pygame? I think the Turtle is generally easier to get into for beginners, but Pygame is way, way, way better as far as a system to make games. It's faster, has so many more functions you can use. I teach beginners, so I usually stick to the Turtle module. Okay. Yeah, sorry, Abood, I missed that, but yeah, it's hard to code and keep an eye on the chat at the same time. I apologize. So yeah, so that was that. Okay, so basically now we're getting this error because I'm checking if the segment distance to the head is less than 20. But now it's because of the way it moves. I think I have to change this to 1. Because originally we were moving 20 by 20, but I think now because we're moving by 1, we got to change that to 1. So let's test that. That was one part I had not anticipated. You're welcome, Abood. So let's see here. I'm going to go up. Oh, that's a problem. Okay, so you can see now. Okay, so what's happening? So the movement part's working. But what's happening is the snake body is appearing. Okay, so I think about this one for a second. Okay, so when we add a new segment, All right, I gotta figure this one out. I knew there was gonna be something that was really hard about this, and this was it. Border collision doesn't matter. Collision with the food. Okay, head distance, food. All right, it's less than 20. Okay, now new segment. So this is where we're adding the new segment. Okay, so I think what we have to do is here we have to put the segment like in the right spot. That's gonna be a tough one. Or hang on a second. Or is it up here somewhere? Water, food. Yeah, this is what I was worried about. Okay, this is gonna take a little time to think through. Food. All right, let me just run this and see what it looks like. So this is kind of part of the process here. I'm trying to figure out exactly what's going on. So as soon as I hit that, I get the error message. that's a different problem. That's okay. Not worried about that for now. So as soon as we're adding the new segment, it's causing a collision. Yeah, so the segment needs to be. Yeah, this is why. Now it's coming back to me why I didn't. Now I remember why I didn't do the smooth movement last time when I originally did this, because it was too hard to figure out. I have to think about this for a bit. Yeah, because I totally changed the movement style from 20 at a time. Yep. Actually, let me change. I don't know if this will help, but it'll move a lot faster. I know that. Yeah, that's. Yeah, so basically if I take out the head collision with the body segments, let's change it to 0 for now. See what happens. So then like they're kind of overlapping, but just like at the one. That was gonna happen. Yeah, I'm terrible at this game. Now it's getting stuck, which is interesting. Okay, just real quick. For this thing now, I don't need this. I don't think. Head direction. That'll let it reverse though. That should still matter. I see what's going on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this causes all kinds of crazy problems. But anyway, let's see if I can get that little problem sorted. I think this was the right approach. I'm just not sure how to solve it from here. Okay, I'm going to try an idea. Okay. Okay, so what's happening is that we're moving the segment to where the head is right away. So, and then it's moving one at a time, but because of the size, it's overlapping. So, without having to go in and reprogram everything, this is an ugly hack. So if segments 0.distance head equals 20. Okay. All right. Let's hope this works. So it ain't pretty. Ooh, okay. That's a move in the right direction. Oh my gosh. Look at that. It's kind of working. All right, and then this one, what I'm going to try and do is if segments index distance to segments, oh, this is horrible, index minus 1 index distance 1 okay, equals 20. Oh, yeah, that's still not smooth motion though. This is kind of an interesting challenge. Basically, what I would probably do at this point, if I weren't doing a video, is just start over. And that's funny. I think the equals 20 is messing things up. Is less than 20? No, it's less than, it's greater than 19? Yeah, because it might not be exactly equal. The distance is greater than 19. Since it is, yeah, I might have to abandon this. This is getting to be a bit of a mess. So I'll apologize to the person I was trying to work on this for. Okay, well, I guess that's an improvement. Alrighty. This is go to Y. Yeah, it's just when we create it, so we got to do the, yeah. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to abandon this for the day because this is pretty tough. But basically, I think what we got to do is we got to give each segment its own like destination, and then move it just like we do with the player. Yeah. Interesting. All right, let's kind of go back here a little bit. And that's not really going to matter at this point. That was 20, but yeah, this is a bit more complex than I thought. So basically what we got to do is each segment has to go to the destination of the previous segment. Then once it reaches there, copy the destination of that segment over. And that one is something that I am not prepared to work on right now. So I apologize for that. Anyway, so well, 2 for 1 or 2 for 3. Last one was really hard. The first one I forgot to do it in this one was rand range to give it so the apple lines up. And this is why, I guess, coding's hard. So yeah, so who asked for that? So Tyler, you know what? That was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So I apologize for that. I have to give that some thought before I talk to you about that one again. I will upload this. I'm going to call this file save as. So I have things I have to do. Not working. Save that, and I will upload the 2-game snake player into GitHub so you can play around with that and see if you can, enjoy it. Actually, get somebody to play with you. That'd be nice. And again, for this one, you want to add, like, right now I only have 1 score. You probably have to score and score 2 and all that sort of thing. But I think, after having watched the video, you should be able to kind of update that yourself. Hopefully, at least that's the purpose of kind of doing these sorts of things. So, thanks everybody for stopping by. Again, again, apologize. I took you down the wrong path on that second one, but yeah, it was a little bit more complicated than I thought. So, which is good. It's that's how you learn. So I have to give that one some thought and maybe come back to that on another day. So yeah. So everybody have a great day. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for stopping by, and I do appreciate it. And yeah, you guys have a great great day. I think it's Tuesday. So have a good week, and I'll see you soon. Hopefully. Bye bye.